I'm Kevin Cirilli. It's time for your weekly rewind.
I'm no longer the young man sitting in the back, hoping colleagues would remember my name. It's time for the next generation of leadership.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he is stepping down in November, sending shockwaves that are still reverberating through Washington, D.C. Senator John Cornyn, a Republican from Texas, will replace McConnell as the leader in the Senate for the Republican Party.
Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
I am pleased that that Democrats have just reached an agreement with the Republicans to pass a temporary extension of government funding tonight.
The House voted on a short-term spending bill that averts the government shutdown for now, but it punts a set of deadlines to later this month. The Supreme Court says that they will hear the Trump criminal immunity in a historic case. The High Court will weigh whether the former president can be prosecuted for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. And the state of Illinois ruled that Trump is ineligible for their Republican primary ballot.
I was just informed that we got double the number of votes that has ever been received in the great state of South Carolina.
Trump won the South Carolina primary, but Nikki Haley, the state's former governor, got 40% of the vote. Haley says that she is staying in the race, but the billionaire Koch brothers say they're pulling the plug on funding her campaign. Trump also won the Michigan primary with 68.4% of the vote, picking up 12 delegates. Also in Michigan, more than 1 in 10 Democrats voted uncommitted in the state's Democratic primary. Now, while President Biden won handedly with 81.1% of the vote, the Hill's Decision Desk HQ says that 13.3% of Democratic voters in Michigan voted uncommitted. The uncommitted vote, totaling at more than 101,000 voters, smashed Michigan's far-left Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's 10,000 vote goal. Tlaib has been bucking President Biden and the state's Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer in mobilizing an anti-Biden effort because she is against the U.S. supporting Israel. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told Time magazine she hopes President Biden will call for a ceasefire in his upcoming State of the Union address on March 7th. Remember, The Hill will have special coverage of Super Tuesday on March 5th with the latest Decision Desk HQ polling and analysis and The Hill's team of all-star journalists. You can watch live Tuesday evening beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel and on thehill.com. In Trump's Georgia election interference case, the judge will hear closing arguments in the disqualification hearing for District Attorney Fani Willis over her relationship with Nathan Wade. Willis's divorce lawyer testified that he does not remember when Willis's romance with Nathan Wade, one of her prosecutors, began. The testimony injected uncertainty into whether Trump's legal team would be able to remove Willis from the case against Trump.
It seems to me that the Republican members wanted to spend more time talking about my client's addiction than they could ask any question that had anything to do with what they call their impeachment inquiry. So, as I said before, there is no evidence because there is no evidence, and today only confirmed that. Thank you.
Hunter Biden testified on Capitol Hill this week. He sat in a closed-door deposition with lawmakers as part of the impeachment inquiry into President Biden by House Republicans. The Federal Reserve's favored inflation metric rose 0.3% in January and 2.4% within the last year, according to the personal consumption expenditures data released by the Feds earlier. The central bank is weighing when to cut interest rates amid cooling inflation. Sweden is joining the North American Treaty Organization. It's the first time in 200 years that Sweden has joined a military alliance, and it becomes the 32nd nation in the global alliance. Sweden is geographically close to Russia, and the Swedes have grown increasingly worried about Russia's war against Ukraine. Sweden becomes the 4th country since 2017 to join NATO. You've heard of turkeys being pardoned, but what about pigs? A baby pig was pardoned in the Louisiana capital. The pig was rescued after being tossed like a football near a Mardi Gras celebration. The weeks-old piglet, dubbed Earl Piglet Long, was given the honors by Louisiana Governor Billy Nungesser. That's it for this week's Weekly Rewind. Be sure to check out the latest reporting at thehill.com and subscribe to The Hill's YouTube channel for more.